You know, usually I would create a humorous segue into the video, but I don't like parasites. And that's essentially what these things are. Or at least that's how they're treated within the events of the story. So let's just immediately dive into the horror of sea bonnies, shall we? The sea bonnies are rather terrifying, to say the least. The sea bonnies are, of course, modified brine shrimp. They're modified to be a bluish purple to resemble Bonnie, one of the crucial members of the Fazbear Band. These things do not behave like brine shrimp. They sort of behave more like parasites. And on top of that, the brine shrimp, or the sea bonnies as they're called within the events of the sea bonnie story, appear to be very intelligent. Everything they do throughout the story is deliberate and sadistic in nature. They are also able to speak. No animal, to my knowledge, knows how to speak English, with the exception of parrots, who mainly just mimic. They don't actually know what any of these words mean. But it just adds another layer of horror to the sea bonnies. Sea bonnies are little bluish purple sea monkey / brine shrimp, genetically engineered by Fazbear Entertainment to resemble the popular animatronic Bonnie. They are semi-translucent, fleshy pale bluish purple, with tiny black eyes and almost microscopic furry tentacles lining their bodies. Sea bonnies propel themselves through the water using their misshapen rabbit ears, and they also have little see-through tails. During the events of the story, a boy named Rory buys sea bonnie eggs as part of a plan to take revenge on his mean brother, Mott. When the eggs hatch, Mott hears the sea bonnies taunting him, and he is alarmed when they invade the body of his pet goldfish, converting its flesh into sea bonnies. Mott tries to flush them all away, but in the process he accidentally swallows one, sealing his terrible fate. As the sea bonnies start to multiply and infest Mott's body, Mott originally thinks he's sick, and so he decides to go to the doctor's office after things get increasingly worse. And as he is scratching himself because of how itchy he is, because of the sea bonnies inside of him, he starts to pull chunks of his flesh off. And in these chunks are millions of sea bonnies. At this point, Mott is horrified, and he tries to make it to the doctor's office, but to no avail. He is quickly consumed and overtaken by the sea bonnies. Mott does manage to make it to the front steps of the clinic before being fully consumed by the sea bonnies, to which one of the people working at the clinic hears him and decides to come out. She talks to what she presumes to be Mott, but unfortunately, this is not Mott anymore. This is now nothing but a writhing mass in the shape of Mott. She asks if Mott is okay because he really doesn't look like he's physically well, with the sea bonnies responding, "I am fine. Isn't it a nice evening? In fact, I feel like everybody should be out here to enjoy it." The sea bonnies then smile before returning to the darkness of the evening rainstorm. In the weird, wacky world of Five Nights at Freddy's spin-off games, a giant sea bonnie was featured as a boss in one of the levels for Freddy in Space 3, Chica in Space. However, this version of the sea bonnie character appears to be less inspired by a brine shrimp and more some kind of lobster or crayfish, given that it has lobster-like claws to attack the player with. Now, while Fazbear Entertainment has been a very sketchy player within the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, actively going at great lengths to hide William Afton's murders across their various franchises, hiding the fact that the animatronics are possessed, and of course, deliberately putting their employees in dangerous situations, I do not believe the Sea Bonnies were actually designed to be parasitic and to be extremely carnivorous. Let me explain. I believe that the sea bonnies were actually meant to be cared for in their own isolated aquarium, and that they were not meant to be put in an aquarium with other aquatic pets, given that the sea bonnies are shown to be extremely carnivorous and parasitic in nature. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. And with that, that pretty much wraps up my video on the Sea Bonnies from the Fazbear Frights Anthology Horror Series. Definitely some really scary body horror, parasitic type stuff. Really makes your skin crawl. And with that, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.